So Shannon Sharp is getting some backlash, and also Amanda Seals. I think I'm mispronouncing her last name, but you guys know I butcher names on a consistent basis. She was part of Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp did an interview with her. I didn't get to catch the full interview. It's up right now on the Club Shay Shay podcast, the audio portion of it. I don't know about the full video. Go check it out. I have been watching bits and pieces, but it's been on the social media timeline and it is trending. And they, introduced a bunch of clips. And a lot of these clips are not very favorable to Shannon Sharp. And a lot of Shannon Sharp's critics are going to point to these clips and say, see, this is why I feel Shannon Sharp is not a good interviewer. And this is why Shannon Sharp shouldn't allow the people that he interviewed full range to go wherever they want to go, say whatever they want to say without any type of pushback. All right. And to me, I feel like, and I'm going to continue to say this, I think, Shannon Sharp is great at entertaining. He's funny. He's very informative. He's not woke. I think Shannon Sharp, fits perfectly with the social media era. Everyone loves Shannon Sharp, but I feel like a lot of people miss on what Shannon Sharp is great at. And what Shannon Sharp is great at, greater at, is making people comfortable around him when he's working, when he's interviewing them. And I feel like that's a highlight of Shannon Sharp that a lot of people, just seem to miss the boat on. Now, a lot of people had a lot of backlash from Shannon Sharp when he interviewed Katt Williams. And a lot of people felt like, he didn't do a lot of pushback. He didn't check Katt Williams. Now Katt Williams, said a lot of entertaining things in that interview. He said some things that were correct, but he misspoke and said a lot of incorrect things. But people were more focused on the things that he was correct about, and that overseed everything else. Plus, that interview still trending, particularly on YouTube. It's still getting numbers. It's a phenomenal interview, and it sparked a civil war with black comedians. All right, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're really talking about. But a lot of people on social media are saying, well, particularly with some of the clips, they feel like Shannon Sharp missed the boat on a lot of things. They're getting down and dirty on Shannon Sharp. They're talking about his English skills, his interviewing skills, and just basically, the people that were criticizing Shannon Sharp, now they're being weaponized with these clips. Now, as far as Amanda Seals go, I haven't heard a lot of great things about this lady. Hollywood has pretty much, pardon the expression, blackballed her. Not a lot of companies want to work, or studios want to work with Amanda Seals. She doesn't have a great track record. A lot of people that worked with her haven't said a lot of kind things about her. The one thing a lot of people talk about when you're dealing with Amanda Seals is, she's pretty big on just speaking your mind and saying your piece, because that's throughout her career, she just spoke her mind and said her piece. But when you speak your mind and say your piece towards her, she gets offended. She start, weaponizing. I'm a victim. I'm this. I'm a victim. I've been through this. I've been through that. And that's why I feel like a lot of people don't have a lot of kind words to say about her. Well, in a certain clip, Shannon Sharpe talked. She talked about her childhood. Like she talked about her childhood, like when she was working at Disney, and she talked about a time where these kids said some racist things towards her, and Shannon Sharpe was, basically was, in agreement with her. But then but also he said that, well, kids can be kids. He said, well, kids don't understand the definitions or the meaning of the words that they say. And, kids can be very mean-spirited, and we all been kids. We all, we have all been around kids. And, kids will say the darnest things. Remember that show? Kids will say the darnest things. But also kids pick up, they're like recorders, wherever is in their environment, wherever that's in their household, they're going to use that behavior and that type of tone and that type of language wherever they pick up from adults. And that's basically what Shannon Sharpe was saying. And I saw part of the clip. Now, Shannon Sharpe wasn't condoning or condemning the kids. And Amanda took a huge issue with how Shannon Sharpe was based. From her perspective, she felt like Shannon Sharpe was defending the kids that were mean to her. And then Shannon Sharpe made the reference, well, I'm pretty sure when you was a kid, you have said something or you have did something that at the time as a kid, you didn't understand it was wrong to say or do. And, Amanda Sharpe kind of brushed it off, saying, she didn't say it, but you can look at her body tone like, it doesn't matter what I said. It doesn't matter what I did. It just, at that particular time, they was doing it towards me. Basically saying, when she does it, it's okay when she's a kid. But when other kids do it to her, then it's a big issue. It's a big problem, and it needs to be addressed. And that's the point Shannon Sharpe was literally trying to make. And Shannon Sharpe is getting torched, burned on social media, saying that, well, Shannon Sharpe is saying that it's okay for the kids to be mean to Amanda Seales. No. He was trying to make a point that kids will say the darnest things, and kids say things that they pick up from their environment or from their parents or from adults, and they don't know the full meaning or the full definition to the words that they're utilizing. Okay? And that's the point Shannon Sharpe was making. Now Shannon Sharpe wasn't defending the kids. He wasn't condoning their actions. He's just speaking from a point of someone who's been there and done that with kids. Shannon Sharpe is much is older than Amanda Seales. Shannon Sharpe has kids. Shannon Sharpe has grandkids. Amanda Seales, from my recollection and from what I Googled, I think she's 41, and she doesn't have kids. So I think people are also missing the boat on the different walks of life that these two people are traveling. Shannon Sharpe, he has kids of his own. He raised his kids, and now his kids are in college. I believe he has a grandkid. Comes from a huge family background. He had trials and tribulations that he had to overcome and had to overcome and deal with. And I'm not saying Amanda Seales hasn't had trials and tribulations, but I feel like these two come from two total different walks of life. So, and they could be both right, but Amanda Seales just feels like you know, her way is the right way. Okay? And she was so defiant about it throughout the. Now, like I said, I haven't seen the full interview, and I have picked up different clips. I saw an 18-minute clip, I saw a 2-minute clip, I saw a 5-minute clip, and I looked at the timeline, particularly on social media. A lot of people are bashing Shannon Sharpe about this. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know, I know a lot of people are going to say I'm a Shannon Sharpe fan. But if you've been following my channel and if you've been watching the numerous videos, there's a lot of people in the comment section and a lot of people on the timeline that thinks that I'm a Shannon Sharpe hater. And I'm not a Shannon Sharpe fan, nor I'm not a Shannon Sharpe hater. I just tell it like it is. And I feel like in this portion of those clips, I feel like Shannon Sharpe was spot on, and I think people were missing the boat. I think people were really jumping to conclusions, jumping through huge hoops, and Amanda Seales was doing the same thing. And this is what happens when you weaponize being a victim, and when it goes left and when it goes wrong. Okay? So, like I said, I watched bits and pieces. I'm going to watch the full interview. Now, they have 2 parts. I think this interview went past an hour. I think this video is like 2 hours plus long. I'm going to watch the full interview. Well, listen to the full interview, not watch. And I just felt like people are giving Shannon Sharpe a bad rap about if that's what the hanging point of everyone's critique and criticisms of Shannon Sharpe. I didn't see any other clips that prove otherwise, and this is what everyone's hanging their hat on, that, you know, this is why Shannon Sharpe shouldn't allow the people that he interviewed full range to say what they want to say, do what they want to do, just go in any type of area. He should, you know, have a narrative and allow them and just allow them and pretty much guide them down the path of being, and that's what a great interviewer is from a lot of people's perspectives. I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I like Shannon Sharpe's approach on how he interviews. And Shannon Sharpe has said this numerous times, that he's not a journalist. Okay? He's not a Barbara Walters or an Oprah Winfrey. You know, he's not, he's not in that lane. He sort of, treats these interviews as just casual conversations, like at the water cooler or at the church or, out and about. That's how and I feel like his interviews are genuine. They're more honest. They're not scripted. And I feel like this interview, if done the right way, and I haven't listened to the full interview. Now, this could be a great, great interview, but I feel like this interview, from the clips I have listened and watched, this could be a turning point for Amanda Seales, and maybe people would, understand her a lot more. Okay? And this could have been a turning point, and she could have utilized this interview to reintroduce herself to the world. And maybe a director or an actor or an actress or a studio, after watching this interview, will go, I got a different opinion about her, and I may want to work with her. And I think Amanda should have approached this interview that way. Now, she also announced in the interview, and I forgot what she diagnosed herself. I do apologize, but you can clearly tell, and I kind of figured that there was, she just wasn't right there. I think that she was dealing with something, because if you look at her timeline and how she just react to certain people, you can just tell that she could be either chemically imbalanced or she's dealing with something mentally and she let the world know. And I do apologize. I had it on the tip of my tongue. I was going to talk about that, but I had to redo this, and I forgot my things I wanted to talk about. There was a lot of things I wanted to talk about in this interview. I do apologize, but that makes sense of all the incidents she has had in her timeline. It makes perfect sense. Okay, so you know, and someone said something on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. You guys may call it X. I call it Twitter. Someone tweeted, well, just because you're famous and just because you're wealthy, that it doesn't mean that you're, perfect or better than others. That's pretty much how the tweet went. And that could have been aimed at Shannon Sharpe, but I feel like that was more aimed at Amanda Seales. I feel like the clips, it just shows her a little bit more human. It shows her, it shows you, okay, I think she's dealing with something, and maybe dealing with this is this is how she lashes out to the world, and maybe this is her way of saying, hey, I need help. I need guidance. I need understanding. And I feel like with this interview, and like I said, I only watched a couple of clips. I didn't watch the full, and this interview is like 2 hours long. But these clips, we live in a microwave society. We live in a TikTok society where everyone's attention span is less than 5 seconds. Okay? And maybe these clips will be the overtone and maybe push people into not watching the full interview, because this is 2 hours plus long. And I felt like they should have chopped that up into an hour, condensed that out, or maybe an hour and 30 or 40 minutes. And I feel like that is more of the doing of Amanda, her camp, saying, no, just show the whole thing. Don't just cut. And probably from their perspective, they're going like, well, don't cut the stuff that you're interested in. And leave the stuff that we're interested in on the cutting room floor. No, just show the whole thing. And I think Shannon's fair enough to do that. This could go either two ways. Like I said, I didn't watch it. This could prove the doubters that, yeah, Shannon Sharpe, you need to change it up a little bit. This is not working for you. This is not it. I don't think this is going to devalue Shannon Sharpe's popularity or people continuing to still allow him to will continue to do interviews over at Club Shay Shay. But I feel like this is more valuable to Amanda Seales to show the world a different perspective and a different lens of Amanda, because what we have seen thus far before this interview is not very positive towards Amanda. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next week. Deuces.